Good morning and welcome to Cooley Off-Road. I am your host Brandon Scott and Nash is organizing. Today we are at beautiful Cooper Lake in central Washington's Cascades outside of Cleveland. And today's adventure is going to be kayaks, baby. Putting our inflatable kayaks into Cooper Lake, and we're going to spend most of the day out on the lake doing some kayaking, doing some, just lazy nature enjoying, and I'm going to bring my fishing pole and do some fly fishing, and hopefully I catch a couple of fish.
Oh yeah, there, bud.
Depending on how, I wasn't pausing for you, I was pausing to collect my thoughts, but depending on how much time we spend on the lake, we may pull out at the end of the afternoon before we go home, and we may go find some waterfalling, but that's not really on the list. Today's activity is to just herp-a-derp and relax on the lake. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy.
Herp-a-derp.
So for today's kayaking slash waterfalling slash possible fishing adventure, we are going to Cooper Lake, which is in the Central Cascades, northwest of Cleveland. So of course I'm going to want Washington Central Cascades Fishing Guide. It is the last section of this book, section 13. It covers Cooper Lake and Cooper River and everything else around it, like the Waterfall River and so on and so forth. There's the blurb for Cooper Lake, and above it's the blurb for Cooper River. And then if you want to go hiking in the Salmon Lasac area, you're going to need, imagine that, 100 Hike Series in Washington's Alpine Lakes Wilderness. And for that whole area, it is like the 60s section, which is hard to turn to because there's the color photos split it up perfectly. There is even a trail going along the Cooper River between Salmon Lasac Campground and Cooper Lake itself, but that'll cover lots of areas. So that is my source material for today's adventure.
Alright, so we are now on Cooper Lake, and you'll see a bunch of peaks and hills in front of me. The little non-snowy lump is called Island Mountain, and then the snowy peak on the left is Lima, and on the right is Chimney Rock / Cathedral Pass, which you can hike up into the vicinity of both of those snowy peaks, but obviously this early in the season, you're not going to get very far. But yeah, this is Cooper Lake. It sits in a basin. Pretty sure there's an old dead fault of some sort running through the lake. That's how most of these lakes are formed, from old normal faults from crustal compression. But the whole basin, at least right in Cooper Lake, is swamp formation sedimentary rocks. But the rocks, the non-snowy rocks, Island Mountain, and then that next hump over there is I don't think it's the Darrington Fillet. I believe it's the Swakeen Green Schist, which is was a sedimentary rock, but it's been metamorphosed. So we have time today, or we get bored of being out on here, go out and go maybe collect some. But there's a couple of really big waterfalls up at the base of Lima Mountain that we'll go see in maybe a month or so, and go on a backpacking trip out there for a night or two to also go to Spectacle Lake maybe. Otherwise, we're just gonna putz around on this silly, gorgeous lake on this gorgeous Father's Day Saturday weekend. Bluebird sky, supposed to be a high of almost 70, little to no wind. Got my Eagle Claw pack pole here, my trusty pack fly fishing pole. And we're probably gonna go up to the top end of the lake and fish the shore up there and see if we can't get anything. But yeah, Central Washington, Washington State. You gotta love it, as Nick Zentner would say. He's probably got that copyrighted by now. Just kidding. Are you kidding me? Nick Zentner wouldn't trademark any of his stuff. He'd be, if he were to ever watch this video and he'd hear me say you gotta love it, he'd probably be blushing right now. Oh, yeah. Just why does anybody even care? I'm just a nice little geologist doing things I like, and people tune in. But yeah, if you want to learn about more actual geology and the green schist and blue schist specifically, which makes up the ridgeline to the west and some of those mountains over there, Nick's got a pretty good series he did early to mid-summer during the pandemic last year called Nick on the Fly, where he'd go out around here, Cle Elum, Leavenworth, Salmon Lasac, all these different areas where there's different rock outcrops, and he'd run little 20-minute, half-an-hour videos talking about the rocks and showing you the rocks, and it's really cool. But I think I'm going to shut my face now and just kind of enjoy it. One last thing I will say, there's no motorized boats allowed, so you can paddle and row out here, and there's a boat launch. We launched at the actual boat launch. But there's a campground down by the boat launch. There's no motorized boats. Yeah, no motorized boats. So that's why it's so silly, quiet, and peaceful, because you can't bring motorized boats out here, because this is a very popular camping destination when summer comes a little further along and the snowy peaks unlock.
Something angry's coming out of there.
Yeah, Snow Melt Creek.
Scored another gorgeous day again.
Yup. Don't worry, I already got the money shot. You really could not ask for a better day. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go see if we can find ourselves a spot to beach the kayaks and then walk alongside the river upstream a ways and fish a ways. See what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. As you can see, the lake and river are literally crystal clear. So if there was any fish in the vicinity, not only would I be able to see them, they'd be able to see me. So this doesn't exactly bode very well for my fishing chances. But you never know till you try. Shoot around to the right of this first down tree and then go around it to the left of the other one. That almost looks like a beaver dam or a beaver lodge. To the point of that spot right in front of us on the left. Park on that point in front of that one log all by itself. What? Yeah, that too. Huh? False alarm. Oh yeah, but I see this point sticking out, yeah. It sticks out quite a ways. Yeah, I think this would be a good spot to beach the kayaks. Bumper boats. Very pretty river, but I have not seen a single fish. I saw somebody in a kayak pull a fish out when we were launching at the boat launch. I haven't personally seen a fish bigger than about my pinky yet. But in a little bit I might go try dropping in the log jam that Nash is climbing on. For now, I'm just gonna enjoy. Would love to be able to cast over to that down log or up to that next log jam, but between the wind and the willows, it ain't happening. At least not with my skill level. There goes goldfinch. There's a couple of them that have been hanging out around here. I bet there's a nest in these trees somewhere. As you can tell, I can't quite make it over to the tree. Don't know why, just today is not my day for any sort of distance casting. Heard a couple of fish jump, saw a couple of fish jump in the middle of the lake. Haven't seen a thing besides one pinky-sized fish in the river, which is weird because June is when the fish should be out and they're hungriest and easiest to catch. But I guess not. That's goldfinch. Nash is gonna get a couple of pictures of me. I better cast. But yeah, it's a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Birds are out, sun is out, the water is gorgeous, the scenery is even better. I just ain't catching any damn fish, which would only make the day better. That's like icing on top of the cake. Oh, that was a terrible cast. I must have bumped off a willow. Nope, guess not. That's just a all around terrible cast. But I'll probably float the lake back down to the boat launch with the pole out just to see if anything bites. That might be the ticket. Well, usually I'm a lot better river fisherman than I am lake fisherman. Just because of lakes, there's so many places for the fish to hide. You could fish perfectly, and unless you land right on top of one, you may not get it. Whereas rivers, you can tell where the fish is where the fish should normally hide. Like along the underside of that tree, backside of that log jam, the entrance to that next log jam. Nothing's biting today. So I guess I'll go back over, play in the log jam with Nash. Drop the fly along the log somewhere, see if I can't get anybody to pop up and take a look. And I'll probably have lunch, get back in the kayaks, and head back down the lake. And it's only like noon, so I'll probably get back to the vehicle by like 2. Which will leave us another 3 or 4 hours to go do something else. Probably go find a waterfall or 2. Or at least go collect a rock or 2. But god dang, this river is lapping pretty. If there wasn't so much log jams, it'd be a great one to float down. But there's just too many log jams. Like we're less than 100 yards away from the outlet of the river into the lake, and we had to walk over 40 feet worth of log jam. And then of course there's another one right there, which theoretically should make a bunch of fishing habitat. But I haven't seen a dang thing today. Oh well. It's always next time. Alright, so we're back on the lake, drifting down. It's gotten a little choppy, but look at the weird cloud formation coming over Lima Mountain and Chimney Rock and Summit Chief. Like it's just like a completely perfect folded wave rolling over the top of the peaks. And every once in a while you get a little sliver of cloud that'll break off and come drifting down the valley. And that disturbance is what's causing all this afternoon wind to come down valley. So yeah, we're just gonna drift down. Boat launch is somewhere over there. Nash is there, obviously. We're just gonna drift down. I got the fishing fly hanging out back. Oh, there goes an osprey. There goes an osprey, but I got the fishing line hanging out. Highly doubt I'll catch anything. We'll just drift back. Drift down to the boat launch, pull the kayaks, and then go look for a couple of waterfalls, and then probably head home. That'll be it for the day. If you're enjoying this peaceful lake day full of river shots, please give a like down below, give a subscribe down below, and share it on social media and help us grow the page. Thank you very much. If you're wondering what I'm using, I've just been using a regular tan elk hair caddis, I think size 10. So probably not the best choice lake fishing. Then again, I didn't even see any fish in the river at all, and I've only seen one person catch a fish, so probably fly fishing isn't even the correct idea. But it gives me something to do. Don't know if you can see them or not, but just past Nash, there's a couple of private residences back there, and that's the only private property along Cooper Lake. Otherwise, we are deep in Forest Service country. So this is all public land. Roads, a couple of roads crisscrossing. No roads go further up the valley along the river. They kind of end here and go around into this next draw into the top end of Cascades Lake. But there's roads, there's miles upon miles upon miles of trails. Well, it's a great place to hang out.
Well, my suspicions were right. There is another one. Yeah, it's only about 15 feet tall, but it's a loud, proud, bright mother lover. Pretty sweet. And it looks like it shoots up down there. Caves in really hard and goes down. So we might be going back up to that fin and going that way. Seeing what else we can find. Woo! So we continue walking down the creek another 100 yards or so. We started hearing something a little angry. And we found that. That's a 45 to 50 foot absolute 10 out of 10 stunner. Woo! Holy hell! Yeah, foreshortening is a little biatch on these iPhone cameras, but that is a big, beautiful, full body 10 out of 10 superstar wild waterfall. And there's another baby drop there. That's like 10 foot. It's so pretty! But that's the money right there. Holy Christ. Oh man. Yeah, baby. You bet we're gonna hang out here for a while.
So that'll do it for today's Cooper Lake / waterfalling adventure. Yeah, I didn't catch any fish, but for some reason I didn't really see any fish either, which in the spots I was fishing, I thought I'd see fish. So that was a bit of a bust, but the kayaking was great. The scenery was gorgeous. And you know, we found 3 freaking waterfalls instead of 1. And the last one was a big old doozy of a dude. So I think it came out even in the end. Give this video a like, give it a share on your social medias. Find us on social medias, like all of those. Subscribe to the channel. Have a good one. Ciao.